Vishakam Vishamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvaya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Because we are reciting, well, I won't be reciting the verse, but as the translations will be from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we often say this mantra, or this verse at the beginning, so we can say it together, or I can say it, you say it after me, but we'll say it 3 times. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Would anybody like to read the translation?
All glories to Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Shri Nityananda. All glories to Advaita Chandra and all glories to the devotees of Lord Gauranga.
Anybody wants to try reciting the Sanskrit, can? Shall? Oh, you can't read it, so I don't know if I can zoom in.
Mahavishnu Jagadkarta Mayaya Vijatyada Sasyavtara Ivayam Advaita Charya Ishvara.
Anybody like to read the translation?
Lord Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Mahavishnu, whose main function is to create the cosmic world throughout the actions of Maya.
Anybody would like to try this first? I'll make it bigger. Sorry. Oh, anybody wants to do the Sanskrit?
Advaitam Hari Advaita Acharyam Bhakti Samsana Bhaktavataram Isam Tam Advaita Charyam Ashrayan.
Thank you. She really managed to do the translation.
Because he is non-different from Hari, the Supreme Lord.
Supreme Lord.
He is called Advaita, and because he propagates the cult of devotion, he is called Acharya. He is the Lord and the incarnation of the Lord's devotee. Therefore, I take shelter of him.
If you press the plus button, it should show a bit larger on your laptop.
You're asking the wrong person when it comes to the MacBook. Like I'm still learning the Mac laptop, and so for me it feels like I'm not really technical. But I think that's it. There's only them two. I have. So as you all know, if you're in the Seva Center group or the community group where you get the notifications to say who's doing the class, it was actually my brother He obviously couldn't make it, so I'm doing it on his behalf very last minute. So I don't have any other presentation, so we're just going to have his picture up there whilst I speak. First, I just want to ask for everybody's blessings. This is the first time I've ever given a class, and it is nerve-wracking, but I know that you're all my family and well wishers, so yeah, just ask for everybody's blessings. And sorry if I say anything that's out of line. So I will be looking at a lot at my notebook.
It's right, it'll be fine.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. Today is the appearance day of Advaita Acharya, and in this bout today, and his appearance day, which signifies. So let me read that again. Today is his appearance day in this bout. His appearance day is of great significance to our position. Without Advaita Acharya, without his efforts, the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, would not have appeared in this world. We are seeing descriptions in the Chaitanya Bhagavat how in the house of Shivas there was kirtan every day and every night. Shivas is the contemporaries of the parents of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in short, it means he lived in the same generation as his parents, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's parents. Srivas therefore was already present on the planet 35 years before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he started in his house led kirtan every night. He started that before the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. At the same time, Advaita Acharya is 53 years older than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which means that the year that he came about was in 1433. Advaita Acharya is one of the elder at that time. Advaita Acharya would have regular gatherings in his house with devotees and discuss Bhagavad Gita. And I think many of us can relate that because we obviously have our sanghas and we come together to hear about the Lord. And in the residence of Advaita Acharya and the residence of Srivas Pandit were hubs where the Vaishnavas would assemble before the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srivas was criticized for the loud chanting in the evening. They would say, in what scripture does it say that we should chant loudly? It should be chanted quietly and softly, because the Muslim rulers may not like this happening in our village. They may send soldiers here and all the village may get distracted because of this. Stop it now. There was a lot of opposition. Some would say they would say that there is a lot of having, howling. Well, sometimes I write fast and I don't remember my writing. So they will say there's a lot of howling, and who knows what's actually happening inside the house. Something must be done. Some would say cut his house, as it was made out of bamboo and chatai walls, which was walls made out of mats. Throw it away and throw it in the river. Advaita Acharya, when he heard that, now the Lord should appear. If the Lord does not appear soon, then I will take my four-armed form and I will cut their heads. So I will cut their heads. Of all of these atheists. So they will cut the heads of all the atheists. So Advaita Acharya was clearly manifesting his divine identity, and the mission of the Lord was the Bhagavad Gita 4.8. Does anybody remember it? And translation? To deliver
The devotees?
to deliver the pious and to as well as to
Re-establish Dharma.
Are we right?
yeah. There's a little bit more, but yeah, that's basically
You know the
it.
Sanskrit, just don't know what it means.
That's the essence. So yeah, to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion and advert himself millennium after millennium. So Advaita Acharya started to worship Sharidam Shila to force the Lord to appear. We're going. So he started to force the Lord to come. He started to worship Shani Shila, and he wanted him to appear. So he would worship with Ganga Jal and Tulsi leaves. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead to make the Supreme Personality of Godhead to appear. I'll say that one more time. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead to make the Supreme Personality of Godhead to appear. Does that make sense? We should all say yes. It does make sense because we understand that Advaita Acharya is none other than Mahavishnu, direct expansion of Krishna. And as well as Mahavishnu, he is Vishnu Tattva, Lord himself. We also understand that Lord Krishna is the Adi Purusha, original controller and enjoyer. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the source of all the other manifestations, and it's also mentioned this in the Bhagavad Gita. We can appreciate that Krishna is the Avatari. He is the source of all avatars, and the Advaita Acharya is the avatar. He is the incarnation of the Lord. And by the way, if I'm speaking very fast, please just tell me to stop, because I do have that tendency. He is one of the Purusha avatar. As Mahavishnu is resting on the causal ocean. It's sometimes called as Viraj River, found between Devi Dham and Hari Dham, which is between the material world and the spiritual world. Sometimes spiritual energy is manifest, and sometimes material energy is not manifest. And when material energy is not manifest, it is said that the three modes of material nature are in equilibrium, which is a state of balance. Sri Advaita Acharya was respectful and highly wealthy. His grandfather was a minister in Bengal and to a Hindu king. I just want to break this up a little bit and ask a question. Have you ever felt happiness seeing others suffer? And we kind of know the answer to that, but
Maybe if I was to be honest,
If you
at
were
some
younger.
point,
Yeah.
some point in my life, probably yes.
wow.
When I was younger, when I was young,
Yeah.
Yeah, when we didn't have maturity
yeah,
and
exactly that.
understanding.
Would anybody like to elaborate a little bit on that? Like, why would you want anyone to suffer? I mean,
Particularly, like, maybe something small, like, well, when I was like a football team at school, like, then someone would get injured so I can get on if I was a substitute. So them suffering.
wait, say that again. Say that
So
again.
say if I'm on the bench, I'm a substitute, I'm not starting the match, and then in the middle of the match someone gets injured, I'm sort of happy that they've suffered because I'm going to get to go on the pitch and soccer them and they're going to come out. Now that's a small little example.
Okay.
Even maybe in a much more immature state, that someone who had hurt me in the past, something bad was happening to them now. So I'm like, yeah, see, karma got him. Although it's very immature, being honest, that yeah, but sometimes that mentality can
Which is quite common in this, yeah.
You like them to learn lessons.
Sense of
element
revenge.
of justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's because you're out of your control? In one essence, like what they made you feel is out of your control.
I think when people are younger, well, I think when people get older, they don't necessarily become forgiving. Only when people become wiser, because people are practicing something spiritual, they can become forgiving or they understand it from different perspectives. But a lot of the time people feel suffering, or somebody's inflicted suffering on them. So they want the other person to feel suffering so that they almost like want them to learn a lesson that it may not necessarily even come from a bad place. It's just that sometimes some people feel that them trying to explain something to somebody else is not happening. So the only way they're going to learn is if they experience what you're going through or how you feel. So there could be many reasons, isn't it, from what we've deciphered here as to why somebody would want somebody else to suffer.
Yeah. Something as simple as revenge, which is
Yeah.
below that level. I think what you described is the next level from revenge.
I feel like when you get mature, you believe in karma more, and you believe like instead of you wishing bad upon them, karma's going to get them anyway.
Anybody else would like to share? Thank you. Ladies?
When you see them suffering, you might feel compassion, thinking, oh no, they're going through this. But then you sometimes trying to help you process it, you'd be like, that is their karma. But then you might not wish it upon them, if that makes sense, but then think, at least I can see the process that it is actually working, if that makes sense.
And also, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on that because I wasn't sure if I followed.
So, if you see somebody suffering that's hurt you, and then you see them karma coming around, yes, you might feel the compassion and pain, but then it makes you have faith in the process.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I was just going to say that actually sometimes when you get older, you realise that the person who is making you suffer may not necessarily was making you suffer, because that's a realisation that came to me. Because when I was younger, I remember having a teacher who was really strict with me. I didn't like her, and I used to think that she was like hating. And for many years, I still didn't like her as I was getting older, until one day I was talking to my mum about it. And I said to Mataji, I said that I want to, she was really strict, I didn't really like it. And then my mum told her that she actually was trying to help you a lot. And she was really trying to make you learn something, but because, you were misbehaving or something, to try and get you to sit down and learn something. Do you remember? Yeah, my mum. And I didn't like her, but then I found a new appreciation for her, because her strictness was out of love, not out of... It wasn't coming from a bad place. So when you get older, you learn, that people's intentions might not be what you thought they were over a period of time, and you can then get a newfound appreciation for that person, that lesson for yourself. I just wanted to share that because that's really important for me in my life. Because for a long time, I thought to myself, she's just a really horrible teacher, I didn't like her, she did. Because everybody's had horrible teachers in their life.
We need to get all their children in.
Because everybody's had people who have tried to teach them something, or authorities that have been not so great with them. But people don't necessarily, and sometimes those people have a power. Teachers, for example, as a teacher myself, like even teachers can become, the power can go to their head because they've got all these people, children and everything, they're controlling everybody and everything all the time. That can feed the ego. And I think children can pick up, particularly which people have an ego as a teacher and who doesn't have one, who's on the same level as you. Not always, but majority of the time. But that was one really important teaching for me in my life, to not be so, like, as you said, like revengeful or to wish unhappiness on somebody. And that was one of the, not the only teaching, but that was one really key one.
That's nice.
I just want to share that with you.
Yeah, that's really nice. Thank you for sharing that, Shah.
Yeah, Prabhupada used to use this term. He used to say, Atmavam manyate jagat. It means that whatever our level of consciousness is, we project that onto everyone. So if I would get enjoyment out of someone else's suffering, I automatically think that if others inflict or they see someone else suffer, we just think automatically everyone thinks like I do. And that's why the example that Vrindapati was just saying, that if there is like an exalted person who in some way, not making someone suffer, but they're kind of teaching them a tough lesson. Or for example, in many pastimes of Krishna, the way that it's explained why the Lord might kill a particular person. The Lord's motive might be that person is causing so much misfortune in their own life by perpetrating such heavy acts that they're getting such heavy karma. It's actually the mercy of the Lord that he ends the person's life so they can start from scratch without, really digging themselves a deeper hole. Whereas this Atma Manyate Jagat, this material concept of life that we have, where we think that everyone perceives and translates things just like I do, we have to kind of get rid of that and realize that there are people that have higher motives than us. Maybe if I'm at this level and I perceive things on this level, there are people that think on a much higher level, and even if they're kind of perceptibly giving people a harsh lesson, it might be for a much higher motive than we can actually visualize.
Thank you, that's nice. Thank you for everybody for sharing. I really like interactive, so in a minute I am going to break you up into some groups. But the reason why I asked that was actually just to go back to Advaita Acharya. It's actually mentioned that he actually prayed. So as we know that when this was happening in the house where they wanted to break the house down of Advaita Acharya or Srivas, and they wanted to kind of put it into the river, he obviously didn't like that. He didn't like this atheist obviously having all these negative comments towards the holy name. So he actually prayed intensely to obviously for something to happen. He prayed intensely to the Lord. So again, rather than him seeing these people that atheists that want to see bad on them, he was actually praying for the good Lord to appear to be able to obviously actually do something about it, rather than him actually physically doing something himself. So he prayed intensely and he saw the world fall into irreligion. So if you want to get into some groups, I'd say just Prabhus and Matajis, I think, just to be easier.
Two groups.
Maybe groups, if the Prabhus want to sort out the two groups. How many of you there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I don't know, 12. So 6 each? 6 people in 2 groups?
So half the
6,
Prabhus.
yeah, half.
Okay,
And then
so
Matajis, however many you
Cheers.
want.
Just do
And
one
then
group, you mean?
you guys.
No, do 2.
Maybe we can go in a group.
12. There's 12, 6. So 2 groups of 6.
Okay, we got our group.
Yeah, coming. I'm not coming, I'm telling you.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
So we have our group.
Yeah, someone got their phone. That they should make notes. I'll ask you 3 questions.
Yeah.
1, why did Advaita Acharya feel so distressed about the world?
And that's a group. What's the question?
Oh. Did Matajis hear that question?
No, sorry.
Yeah.
What does Advaita Acharya teach us about devotion? So that's the second question. Sorry, Matajis. Wait.
Sorry, what was the question?
So the first question was. Shabbat, can you just repeat that?
Why did Advaita Acharya feel so distressed about the world?
And the second one?
What does Advaita Acharya teach us about devotion?
Okay. We can start with 2 now. Did you hear the question?
Yeah.
There's 2 questions.
Carry on.
Oh,
2,
okay.
yeah, we just do 2.
Discuss.
I don't buy it. Everybody's going to start talking.
Oh, is this the Okay, yeah, cool.
Why did he feel so distressed?
First question is, why did Advaita feel so distressed about the world?
Yeah. It's nice stories about how he's writing in the path that he sees.
All the way around. He was saying that if the Lord doesn't come down early, he'll basically take up the
Yeah, Maya. Killing yourself in the spiritual life, spiritual spirit. Yeah, that's one reason. So what?
That kind of
Second question: what does that mean?
come down
And how
and
the Acharya teaches about
Yes, the other way.
By the way, you got 15 minutes. It's quite a lot of time.
One lesson I always take is that your service is dependent on the mercy of God. Without the mercy of devotees, how can petitions rule?
3 now, please.
Anyone else have any realization?
What is more?
You know the story of Advaita Acharya?
The Lord gives you mercy so then you can go to
Yeah, Advaita Acharya. You know, on the altar we have that picture of the middle. You have Lord Chaitanya in the middle. On the left, on our left, is Lord Nityananda. And then on the far left is Advaita Acharya. On the right of Lord Chaitanya is Radha and Srivastava. So on this side of Lord Chaitanya is Vishnu Dasara. So there is a cross. On this side, there is energy, Radharani and Jesus.
Because if you are angry, you still be merciful.
True, good point.
Then that adds up with only being angry, you might not have, you might not be merciful.
Why?
Just be angry and still be very tough.
We can see the essence in the material world. There was more anger. The red was well. The fact that everything still exists. According to karma, we will all have to be punished in a way that we would not exist.
It's not mercy.
There is more mercy and the evidence is
Mercy means to receive something that you don't deserve.
Anger can be. Take the example, a parent
For a child.
they plus anger.
No, they are.
But it's also
For
love.
example, original video.
It's not that anger.
Someone
I think there is a limit for anger at times.
and anger is also a form of love.
Yes, it depends on it. In the context of a drunk person picking up a knife and like, there's no mercy in that.
So why is mercy?
But there is far more different. Yeah. So both involve anger. One is control. And using the way help mercy.
Maybe the reason that person is trying to kill somebody is because he wants justice, he has restored their feelings.
Yes, and someone did die, murder, rape,
What does it say later about devotion? What does the Veda teach us about devotion?
Does everybody know who Advaita Acharya is? One of the incarnations of Panchatattva. So on the portrait, in the middle is a picture. That's a picture of the Panchatattva. Right in the middle is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's considered to be Radha, Krishna, and Rama. And next to him is Nityananda Prabhu, who's like Radha, Krishna, and Rama. Incarnated as Advaita, which is the one with the beard who saw on the street. Is the incarnation of Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Lord Shiva, combined with the So he saw that he was the eldest of the five. There are another two, but we'll move on. Advaita Acharya basically is being raised to religion and messed around with and spiritual practice is not happening. He prayed to Shalagram Shiva, which is a stone that comes from Nepal, especially a stone that comes from the sacred lake. It's called a Shalagram Shiva. You have to have special permission from the Guru to go into those places. So it's not just everything. It's a stone. Water from the baby comes over. Intense praying to Christians, offering these needs to Shalagram Shila as an offering, asking Christians to come in the Kali Yuga as So the question is, really deeply praying. He needed to change. Now he thinks about it as what do we learn from this about devotion? How should we call out the Lord, etc. That's the context.
Maybe if we take him as an example, praying
Can you see?
so others.
They're moving.
Yeah, really.
Someone made a 3D effect. Yeah, look.
He wants to help people. He himself feels like he
About 7 more minutes. 5 more minutes. No, 6 more minutes. Gone down. I know.
These guys summed it up quickly. They're like, hit the nail on the head.
The wise men.
That's why everyone's on the Vyasa.
Where is their disciples? You sure that selfless. Mother, thinking something concealed, right? The scheme punch. Yeah, you said compassion.
Anger is actually exaggerated because people don't know how to speak to a person maybe, and that's really out that they've got
So we've got so far complete deep compassion, praying. What we also learn about devotion is that prayer is also very powerful, because if you're praying and calling out to God, that's also powerful. So when we're chanting to those things, we should be in the mood of really calling out to God. And expecting that mercy to come. He's very expecting one day someone's going to by the persevering, praying very deeply, not just surface level praying, it's very deep level praying. Okay, I think we're
Mataji, are we done? Okay. Couple of minutes. Right, Mataji, 1 more minute. Hare Krishna, everybody. Right, we can finish. You can extend it. Thank you so much, everybody. So yeah, group by group, I'll ask everybody what the answers. If anybody wants to shout out, the first question was. Sorry, I moved onto my phone. Why did Advaita Acharya feel so distressed about the world? Group one?
Group one.
Shab always sees someone else in the scene.
Sharp will be the big problem.
No. He wants to hear you. He wants to hear you.
Come on, Dragonov, he's going to share.
Why did Advaita Acharya feel so distressed about the world?
There are atheists around,
Mm.
people who are following thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
That will help them in practice.
Amazing, that's great, thank you. I'll come back to the second question in a minute. Group 2?
We came up again, there was a huge rise in irreligion, and also there was, as you were saying in the class, that even Harinam stuff could not be performed because of the restriction imposed by the Mughals.
Yeah, great, thank you. Mataji's? Group 1, and that one you got group 2. So the Mataji's this side, on the other side of the pillar.
One of you say, because we're discussing it. People were seeing food
So, yeah.
and they were not worshipping Vishnu.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
that's
great,
the reason.
thank you.
Similar to the other groups, there was a lot of suffering in court. Also, there was lots of atheism or increase in atheism and degradation of principles as well.
Thank you. Yeah, pretty much everybody's pretty much right. That's what we obviously learn, and you're just sharing that. So it's amazing. Thank you. So he saw people suffering and spiritually lost. So he felt deep compassion. And compassion is it a weakness or is not a weakness? Not a weakness. It's a divine mercy. So the second one is, what does Advaita Acharya teach us about devotion? Group 1. Prabhu in the red. Sorry, Mamta Mataji, I forgot his name. Atul Prabhu, sorry. Okay.
Someone else?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That we need other personalities for our own betterment, for our own upliftment.
Yeah,
We need the mercy of others.
very true, yeah, thank you. Group 2.
Somebody?
I guess one of the main ones we discussed was compassion, the fact that he was praying for the sake of, for the benefit of
Nice.
others.
Yeah,
It is compassion.
yeah, thank you. Manaji's over here. Mamta Mataji.
Sincerity.
Sincerity, yeah. Anything else?
So it's a way of, there's a process of way he worshipped, so we want to learn that devotion. So have a deeper understanding of devotion, how to actually approach Krishna through him as well as other personalities coming. So when he was praying for Krishna to come, he was actually, even though he was from the Vishnu Tattva, he was also teaching others that you can be so devoted, but you can also elevate yourselves to call Krishna to yourself as well.
Thank you, that's really nice.
Again, similar to the other groups, so one of the lessons learned is to pray from the heart, for the heart, and to listen to others, to be very, very compassionate and be kind. Obviously, get one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, did you, at the end there, I cut you off.
No, yeah, just to kind and compassionate, and forgiving as well. Forgiving.
That's really nice, thank you. Thank you, everybody. So the answer, what that devotion is active, intense, and fearless. It doesn't stay quiet. The deeper point would be devotion should move you to act for the benefit of others. And then question 3, what is more powerful, anger or mercy? I like that question.
Yeah.
Mercy, yeah.
Well, you said mercy is more powerful. Would you like to elaborate?
If one can forgive somebody, then that person is on a higher level to somebody who's creating anger. And also, it's to do with karma as well, because you're not taking on their karma, for them being affected.
Thank you so much. I think Shalman's eager to say something.
Yeah, I had a couple of points on this. Very nice question, actually. So in the Gita, Krishna, there's a really nice verse that explains the result of anger. Krishna says, Krodha bhavati samohat, from anger comes delusion. Samohat smriti vibrama, from delusion comes the loss of memory. Smriti brahmsha buddhinasho, from the loss of memory, buddhinash means you lose your intelligence. Buddhinasha pranashati, one falls down from as a result of anger. So it's a really nice couple of examples of, and what does mercy mean? Mercy means to receive something that you don't deserve. So when you compare the two, there's a really nice video I saw online where It was a courtroom, and a man was standing trial for killing a teenager, and that teenager's mother, I think it was in the courtroom, and after the person got sentenced, the mother went up to the murderer and hugged him and said, "I forgive you." And even like you can see the power, the impact it must have had on the murderer. But a really nice example actually in our tradition is in the pastime of Jagai and Madai, that Lord Chaitanya's transcendental anger, he wanted to completely annihilate Jagai and Madai because they had hit Nityananda Prabhu. But then Nityananda Prabhu, his mercy, he stopped Lord Chaitanya and he said, "No, this is not why you've come. Show them your mercy." And you can see actually, even let's say that Lord Chaitanya would have killed Jagai and Madai. What is the destination of those that are killed by the Lord? They get liberation. And liberation for a devotee is considered a lower thing. But through Lord Nityananda's mercy, they got Lord Chaitanya's mercy. And by that mercy, they were able to engage in devotional service. They changed their ways, they completely transformed from the inside. So that's a spiritual example of how receiving the mercy of the Lord in that way that one engages in devotional service is actually higher than the anger is exhibited by the Lord and being killed by them.
That's such a nice example. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else could top that? Group 2?
When you're asking about anger and mercy, you come up with this. It depends in the context which the anger is used. For example, a parent telling a child off in anger is also merciful because they're trying to keep the child on the correct path. They're showing love and actually giving some guidance in that anger. Whereas someone acting in anger and revenge and whatever they do, and commits the murder, there is no mercy in it at all. So I think controlled anger is also quite beneficial. So which is better? They both have their own benefits.
That's good. Nice point. Thank you. Group 1 from the Mataji. Pavi? Okay.
Now we said that mercy was the most sort of like powerful, mainly because to forgive someone or to be merciful to someone or even to receive mercy, it takes more energy than actually being angry, because angry is more from superficial, it's not sort of like a deeper thing, whereas mercy is a lot deeper. It takes a lot of sort of like stableness to actually become merciful, and to become stable is more stronger than actually becoming uncontrollable. So that's why we thought mercy was actually the most powerful.
That's nice. Thank you.
As we said, so from a materialistic point of view, one could argue that anger would be the most powerful because of people looking at their sins, their karma in the previous lives, and in context, what's the anger there for? But from a spiritual point of view, I'd say that mercy is probably more powerful. It takes a bigger person to forgive the sinner, to help them realise their sins. And there's a saying, kill it off with kindness. And that's the analogy that I would use in this instance. So, yeah, mercy is far more powerful.
Thank you. Everybody shares such amazing points about that. And that is definitely a nice question as well. On the topic of mercy, I think Prabhupada says this as well from a spiritual master, also said the same thing. So whenever you receive mercy, you should always give the mercy out. And then you'll receive more. Not that we always want to receive more, but I just really like that point, so I just wanted to share that. So yeah, the answer to that also is that mercy is more powerful because it can change hearts and save souls. Advaita Acharya's his anger is actually compassionate urgency, which we saw. Just to end, and I'm ending a little bit early. But Sri Advaita Acharya is a divine devotee, intense love and compassion for Lord Chaitanya to save the world. He teaches us that sincere devotion can move God, and that our prayers and chanting can truly change hearts, starting with our own. So hopefully we can take something away from what we learned today. Thank you so much. And if you've got any comments, questions, please, or corrections.
You done great.
Thanks. That's what I feel right there.
Maybe one extra note to the last question that I've been thinking about it for the last maybe year or so about anger and compassion. I think we can see the evidence in our material life that there is more mercy than anger, because if we take a karmic action-reaction balance, everybody knows their own sins and what we've already done and how much punishment we deserve, but we've not received it. And the fact that we still exist and we've not destroyed the planet means that there is more compassion than anger.
That's a really nice point. That's such a nice point. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's such a great point,
Yeah.
actually. Like, quite often people ask, there's a Krishna in the Gita, he says, I'm the super soul seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. And people often ask, how does Krishna provide forgetfulness? And it's like, similar point to what you